It occurs to me to kind of make this point a little bit. So, if you ask me what is better, lobster or Dungeness crab from Washington State, I'm going to tell you every time that it is Dungeness crab from Washington State, not lobster. And even being when I was out in Maine for the year, I did not. I did have lobster while I was out there, and it was good, but it didn't quite do it for me as much as a real Northwest Dungeness crab is here. And the reason for that kind of for me is that I grew up with this. When I was a kid, we used to go out into the shallows near one of my cousins, their grandparents lived, or still do, on the water near Canada in Washington State. And if you wanted crab, you would just walk out there into the shallows, reach down, pick one up, take it home and cook it, right? You couldn't get it any fresher than that. And that's kind of the thing, is that, if you go to, there's that stereotype that if you go to Vegas, don't eat the shrimp there. Why? Because you can't get fresh shrimp in the desert. Now, we're getting better at how we import things and whatnot, but we have to freeze it. And like I said, if you have the choice to get fresh shrimp that's never been frozen, that's going to be a million times better than any type of frozen shrimp that you get. And the same is going to be true of this Dungeness crab. I bought it alive, I cooked it alive, and it's going to be better for that. Now, some chefs will disagree, and I'm not a chef, right? And say that, boiling it stresses it out, and it might actually make it actually affect the meat more. But this is the way I've always had it. Sometimes they'll say, especially for lobsters, I've heard that if you puncture the brain before you cook it, then the meat actually is going to have a better flavor because it's not going to go through that stressful phase. It's not going to release all those chemicals and endorphins into its body that's going to help it cope with that. So, don't just listen to me when it comes to how do you cook crab, but this is how I've always cooked it. And frankly, I've only ever had crab a little bit better at Taylor Farms up on Capitol Hill. And it was right in the dead middle of the season. It was the cheapest that you're going to get it because it's in the middle of the season. And it was, whatever they did with it was just absolutely phenomenal. It's the only time I would say, yeah, that crab was better than what I've ever had before in my life. But the point being here, guys, is that the fresher your meats are, and anything really, whether you're going to have better flavor if you buy seasonal vegetables rather than greenhouse vegetables, because they're going to have more of that natural flavor. You're going with what nature actually wants to do, and that's going to give you a better nutrition profile. It's going to give you a better flavor. It's going to give you a better texture. Everything about it is going to be better. So try to stick to fresh as much as you possibly can. That is my point.